Our chalice lighting words are by Katie Silvani Gelfand. We light our chalice as a symbol of gratitude as we celebrate the abundance of our lives together. In this sanctuary, we harvest bushels of strength for one another and offer our crop with the hands of compassion and generosity. In the authentic and gentle manner of our connections, we cultivate a simple sweetness to brighten our spirits. May we be grateful for the ways we nourish and uplift each other, for it is the sharing of this hallowed time together that sustains us.
In a spirit of reverence, we acknowledge that we gather this morning on the land of the Kumeyaay. As we light this candle, we affirm our commitment to cultivate meaningful relationships with the people of this land and to work together for justice and equity.
Good morning, and welcome to the First Unitarian Universalist Church of San Diego, where we worship each Sunday in the South Bay, in Hillcrest, and online. Our mission is to create community, nurture spiritual growth, and act on our values to help heal the world. Oh, yes, of course. And now we will have our introit. I turned the page too quickly.
Good morning, and again, welcome to the First Unitarian Universalist Church of San Diego. I'm the Reverend Kristen Kuriga. I use the pronouns she, her, and Aya, and I serve as one of the ministers here at First UU. If you are visiting, I want to extend you a special welcome. I invite you to fill out the visitor form in your order of service and return it to the welcome table. If you're joining us online, you can fill out a visitor form at the link on the live stream page or in the YouTube service description. We would love to connect with you. If you've been coming here for a while and you're starting to feel like this might be your spiritual home, we ask you to consider becoming a member of this beloved community. You can learn more about becoming a member at the welcome table or by contacting Valeria Aguilar, our membership coordinator. Welcome to this space. Bring all of who you are, in all the beauty of languages, cultures, and skin tones that come together in your uniqueness. You are welcome here. In all the ways you experience and express gender. You are welcome here. In the beauty that is who you love and how you love. You are welcome here. In all the ways you live and move and experience your embodied self. You are welcome here. With all the religious and ethical traditions that inform your spiritual life. You are welcome here. Together, may we live into our shared values with love at the center. Welcome. I invite you to rise, embody your spirit, and join in singing our church hymn.
Good morning, friends. I'd like to invite any children or youth who would like to come up and join me for the Time for All Ages. And while they're coming up, I'll call your attention to the back of the music notes. Today at 11:30, you can join Emma in the Peace Garden for fostering relationships with land and people. So you can get your hands dirty, plant some stuff, dig some stuff. Next week, if you'd like to stick around at 11:30 in Bard Hall, we're going to be doing some journeying toward wholeness with the JTW team. So come and join them at 11:30 next week. Good morning. How are you? Oh, good. Oh, hi. Good morning. Hi. How are you? Well, friends, today we are thinking about abundance. Anybody know what abundance means? No? Abundance means when you have not just enough, but you have more than you could even need. You have an abundant amount of stuff. And one way that we recognize abundance when we have more than we need is to be thankful for that. And today's book, The Thankful Book, is about different ways we might be thankful. And what I love about this book is that people are thankful for what they have, and it might be different from what we have. That as a community, we all bring different stuff and different abilities and different things with us, and that's part of what makes us an abundant community, is that we have different skills and assets and just stuff that we bring to the community. So this is The Thankful Book by Todd Parr. Every day, I try to think about the things I am thankful for. I am thankful for my hair because it makes me unique. I am thankful for my ears because they let me hear words like, I love you. I am thankful for my garden because I like to watch things grow. I am thankful for my shadow because it makes me look taller. I am thankful for bubble baths because they keep me squeaky clean. I am thankful for underwear because I like to wear it on my head. I am thankful for my friends because they make me smile. I'm thankful for my pets because they keep me warm. I am thankful for vacations because I get to see new people and places. I am thankful for walks because they are special times for just you and me. I am thankful for my hands because they help me give special gifts. I am thankful for healthy food because it keeps me strong. I am thankful for hugs because they make me feel good. There are lots of things to be thankful for. Try to remember some of them every day. The end. Love, Todd. Well, I'm thankful for you, friends, and I hope that you all have things that you're thankful for. We'll be talking about what we're thankful for a little bit more next week. But for now, I would be very thankful if you up here would stand up with me and help lead the congregation in our affirmation. I need help with your hands. We'll say it first in English and then in Spanish. We are Unitarian Universalists, a people of open minds, loving hearts, and welcoming hands. Somos unitarios, universalistas, personas de mentes abiertas, corazones amorosos y manos que dan la bienvenida. And now I invite you all to come and join me in the back, and we'll head to our groups.
Good morning. We want you, all of you, to join us in congregational conversations about discerning whether to call Reverend Kristen to be our settled associate minister. Your voice matters. In fact, listening to and hearing your voice is the most important part of the process. You don't have to be a member to come and join us in these small group discussions, but to vote and save the date, February 8th, you will have to be a member. So we invite you, the Call Discernment team, to come and be with us in community and share your hopes and dreams. Please meet at 11:30 today in the common room. You don't have to be signed up. You can walk in. Walk-ins are welcome. And if today is not a good day for you, you have an insert in your program, and there's a QR code. I think the link is fixed so that it will take you to the schedule, and you can sign up for whatever day and time fits in your schedule. So we welcome you, and we welcome your voice. Thank you.
A few other announcements. Lay ministers are available after the service to offer a listening presence. If you have a joy or a sorrow that you would like to share, this morning's lay minister is Elise Ford. She's up there with the yellow stole. We'll also have a campus tour this morning led by Keith and Marge. There's Marge right there, and they'll meet you right up here after the postlude. This is a chance to see the many gems of this beautiful campus. So please join in that tour right after worship. This Wednesday evening, the night before Thanksgiving Eve, we will have dinner church at 6 o'clock. We do ask that you let us know by today if you're coming, because we'll be ordering food. There's a link in your order of service. And if that doesn't work for you, email one of us, Reverend Kristen or Tony or me, and we will make room for you at the table. But please do that today. I think it's going to be a wonderful gathering. Also, save the date, Sunday, December 14th, immediately following worship. Oh, did you want me to say why? So if you've been here for more than a minute or two, you've probably heard folks talking about stay or go. Should we sell our beautiful campus and go somewhere else? Or should we stay here, find developers that want to make some projects on this campus that would be aligned with our values, that would also help to lower our costs and make it more financially sustainable for us to stay? So the thing that I care about as your developmental minister is, how will you decide? How will you decide which option to choose? So we have designed a workshop on Sunday, December 14th, following worship, that will help us really name what are the absolute, the essential elements of this campus. If we were to move, what spaces and objects would we take with us? If we stay and bring other developers in, what must we preserve for us? So in a few weeks, Sunday, December 14th, we will engage in a conversation. We'll actually move around the campus and we'll answer some questions about each of those spaces so that we will have really the voice of everyone and understand well what is most essential. Does that make sense, what we're asking of you to do, to engage in that process? Sunday, December 14th, immediately following worship, you'll be getting more announcements. This is kind of the first mention, but please save that date. One of the ways that we live our values in the larger world is by sharing our offering each week with a local organization that is working for justice. And throughout the month of November, we are sharing our offering with American Indian Recruitment Programs, AIR. This is a local nonprofit that's been empowering Native youth since 1993 through mentorship, education, and cultural connection. Across the United States, about 52% of Native students graduate from school, and only about 17% go on to university, and only 4% complete a college degree. These numbers tell a story, not only of lost potential, but of lost opportunity. The AIR programs are created to unlock this potential, teaching Native students about their heritage, their languages, and the issues facing their communities, and in doing so, developing critical thinking skills and the confidence to become leaders. So let's join in sharing what we can with this program. You can give through text to give, the number's on your screen. You can also donate this morning in person through cash or check in one of the containers in the middle section of the meeting house, or online at our website, firstuusandiego.org. Thank you for your generosity. The morning offering will now be joyfully given and gratefully received.
And during the offering, we will sing together our second hymn, From You I Receive. You'll see the words in English and in Spanish on the slide, so we'll sing it the first time with the English words, second time with the Spanish words, and the third time, choose your own adventure. You can even switch in the middle of the verse if you want.
And now let us enter into a time of prayer or meditation. Let's begin by taking some slow breaths together in and out, and in and out. Let yourself be held by the chair or the sofa that you're sitting on. Let yourself feel the energy in this room, the love that is moving between and among us. Spirit of life, Spirit of love, Holy One of 1,000 names and of no name. At a time when the world is full of turmoil and trouble and uncertainty, we find ourselves humbled by all the gifts that surround us. The beautiful sunshine, the warm breeze, this beautiful campus that we are blessed to inhabit and work in and worship in and gather in. The company of these fine beloveds, fellow journeyers, fellow seekers. We pray for peace. Peace in our hearts, peace in our homes, peace in our communities, peace in our nation, peace in our world. May we learn to share what we have so that all may partake in the bounty around us. May it be so. Blessed be. Amen.
Last fall, at the end of October, we held a worship service celebrating the South Bay campus's 16th birthday. At this birthday celebration, we told stories about our origin and how the South Bay campus started and about its justice ministry over the years. We wrote love notes to the South Bay community and read them aloud. And we were preparing ourselves for a meeting after service called the Future of the South Bay Campus Meeting. Now for the meeting, the space was overflowing with folks from Hillcrest and South Bay and some of our community pantry volunteers. And over the course of that hour and a half in Spanish and English, we sang together and we shared our stories about the impact of the ministry there. We knew as a community that we were at a critical juncture. We wouldn't renew our lease at our location at 970 Broadway because the costs kept rising, there was no parking, and we had this growing and vital food ministry that had pushed every limits of our capacity in that space. Now at the meeting, the South Bay Task Force shared everything they had learned over many years of searching for a new home. And we presented a chance that felt like it could offer this strong foundation for the next chapter of South Bay, to move in and to share space with St. John's Episcopal Church. Now, after asking lots of questions and discerning, we decided as a community to say yes. And then so many people worked together since then to make that possibility into something real and tangible. Hundreds of hours of meeting and logistic planning and dreaming, negotiating leases, writing grants, filling out never-ending paperwork required to secure a conditional use permit from the city of Chula Vista, measuring square footage and electrical wattage to make sure that fridges and freezers would fit, dreaming up new configurations to transform a social hall in an Episcopal church into a Unitarian Universalist worship space, building a real and meaningful relationship with the members of St. John's community, and sorting through everything we had accumulated in 14 years and trying to get to the essence of what we needed and what we wanted to take with us. It'd be hard for me to describe what a big project this was and how many people it took to be involved. And even though we were diligent, there was this moment where it felt like the entire project was going to fall apart. It was the beginning of August. Our lease had just begun at St. John's. We were getting quotes for moving vans and planning the move from 970 Broadway, and we still did not have a conditional use permit. In fact, we couldn't even get the city to call us back. In that moment where we had no permit, we didn't know when we were going to move, there was also this trauma at St. John's Episcopal Church. Their priest, I still have some feelings about this. Their priest was accused of misconduct, and he resigned and was eventually defrocked. It was just this moment of brokenness and uncertainty. So many people's emotions and histories and all of these challenges, and we thought, how are we going to find a way forward? But it was in this moment of brokenness and deep uncertainty that the abundance started to show up. It was an abundance of care, which helped to support one another and our partners at St. John's. We spent time listening to each other, tending to each other's hurts, and discerning a way forward grounded in our shared values. We made a decision to extend our lease at 970 Broadway for a few more months so that we could continue our vital ministry of feeding our community while we worked through the permitting process. We knew it was an investment, and we knew it was a risk. Would a few months be enough? We could have made different decisions based on scarcity and fear. And yet everything began to flow from the choices we made out of love. A few days after the announcement about extending the lease, donors came forward and offered to pay the double rent. We secured a meeting with the city and got a commitment that we would have an approved permit from the city of Chula Vista by the end of October. And when it came through on October 24th, it was like we had won the lottery. I was literally running around with papers in my hand in the office. It was like golden tickets were falling from the sky. Donors, big and small, supported the Move Fund and exceeded the match by over $5,000 for the grant from the Spirit Level Foundation. And this October, we celebrated South Bay's 17th birthday at our new spiritual home. Now, we were preparing for our welcome ritual and celebration on October 19th, and we were talking about how many seats to set up. And I said, how about 80? And people laughed at me. They laughed at my optimism. And yet, on the afternoon of that day, every single seat was taken. One of the most moving moments people tell me, and I felt it too, was that we have a cutting from this tree. This tree that was planted by Carol and Dean Smith in honor of the birth of their child. We took cuttings from that and we planted a tree at South Bay that has been with us since the very beginning. And we had our tree and we watered it with our memories and our gratitude and also our dreams for how South Bay would continue to thrive and to grow. The joy in that space was palpable and overflowing. And just a few weeks later, the pantry opened on November 8th for its first distribution in our new location. It couldn't have happened in a more critical time when political decisions were depriving people of access to food. We showed up and we said, there is enough and everyone deserves to be fed. That Saturday, I looked around at the amazing volunteers and leaders that make this ministry possible, and I was brimming with gratitude for this beautiful and vital ministry built on abundance and reciprocity. So this Sunday, we celebrate abundance. I believe abundance is something we create, something we make from our generosity of spirit and time and care. When we share what we have to help fulfill a common dream or mission. When we know what is valuable to us and we invest in it. When we work together with a deep knowing that there is indeed enough for all of us to thrive, and we help to make it so. I see and I celebrate your commitment to embody love and generosity, not just here, not just for ourselves, but for this interconnected web of relationships that extends beyond the walls of our church and into our many communities. As I was reflecting this week on this sermon, I pulled a card in one of our decks that sits on our altar, and it was abundance, and it had a sacred geometry pattern, and this is what it said. It said, abundance is the sense of fulfillment that comes from a heart and soul that are overflowing with love and gratitude. So, from a heart and a soul that is overflowing with love and gratitude, thank you.
Thank you, Jewel Tones. I'm going to invite up Sarah Orman and Robbie Evans to help with this next part. And why don't you two share the pulpit and I'll speak from here. We have an abundance of space, so no need to crowd one another.
When we started this pledge drive back in October, you might have noticed we hardly ever talked about numbers. In fact, I think I said numbers were not my friend. We didn't talk specifically about how much money we needed to raise, but we shared the belief that if everyone gave a gift that made your heart glad, we would have enough.
And in fact, that approach to stewardship has been working. We have not put up slides of bar charts or thermometers.
We haven't interrupted worship with fundraising commercials or subliminal reminders like the sound of ringing phones.
When we created the budget for this fiscal year, we used a conservative estimate for what we would raise in this year's pledge drive. We did that because we feared what might happen to the stock market and the overall economy after the election. We also knew that our parking lot revenue might start to go down as the hospital opened its new parking structure, and so we set our pledge goal at a very modest $736,000.
That number meant we would have to take a draw of $50,000 from our cash reserves. This is less than ideal, but it is a rainy day fund that we do have to tap from time to time. However, because of your generosity and because our worst case scenarios about the economy and the parking income did not come true, but mostly because of your generosity, we now predict that our final total will be well over $800,000. Which Reverend Justine tells us was her dream goal for our pledge drive. Many of you make automatic monthly payments, and we still need to hear from you that you intend to renew your pledge for the coming year. And there are still a few of you who have not made your annual pledge, even though you have made a pledge every year for many years. Assuming that all or most of those outstanding pledges come through, we will exceed our goal.
And in fact, we have already exceeded that first modest goal. As of right now, our total stands at $781,476. And we believe we are on track to raise over $800,000.
Make your pledge today.
This means we won't have to take a drawdown from our cash reserves, and we can allocate that money toward much needed maintenance of our physical plant.
It means we can feel confident that we are moving towards future sustainability.
We are on the right track, thanks to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I'm going off script a little bit because Chef Tiger and I will be serving Celebration Sunday cake at social hour in Bard Hall. So see you there.
Yes, let's celebrate our abundance. And I want to say a few words about, we have the most amazing team of leaders, both lay leaders and staff people. I want to say thank you, Sarah Orman, for your leadership on the pledge drive. She just set this tone of abundance, of joy, which I think has made all the difference. And of course, thank you, Robbie Evans, for all you do in so many different aspects of church life. Thank you to our amazing musicians, Andrea and Jewel Tones. Thank you for sharing your gifts with us this morning. Tomas, almost every Sunday you are here doing one of your many amazing things. Thank you, Tomas and Andrea. And Tony, thank you for all that you do with the children and with all of us. And I know I'm going to forget people once you start naming people off script. And you know, it's terrible being married to the minister because you're often left out of things except in the things that you would rather not be left out of. Thank you to the handbells. You know, this morning when you started playing, I just thought, we should put you in one of those apps, like the Calm app, when we need to rest, and have the handbells and Andrea just play music for us. It's like being inside a music box, and it's just wonderful. Thank you so much for the music that you share. Handbells. Oh, no! You're pointing. And Paul. Paul is a multilinguist. Most especially, he shares his gifts of American Sign Language with us every Sunday, and often at other special events as well. And it makes it so that everyone can be here and can enjoy worship with us. So thank you, Paul. Paul has been with us for 26 years. Is there anyone else that I'm going to have forgotten? And our tech booth. Zane and Lior and Ricky. So it's impossible it takes a lot of people to make this church run. And you all do it with such grace and skill and love. So let us celebrate the abundance that you all bring. We'll finish out our worship service by singing together, and then let's have some cake. Blessed be.
We invite you to rise in body or in spirit and join us in singing our closing hymn, We Give Thanks. Oh, we give thanks for this precious day, for all gathered here and those far away, for this time we share with love and care. Oh, we give thanks for this precious day. Oh, we give thanks for this precious day, for all gathered here and those far away, for this time we share with love and care. Oh, we give thanks for this precious day. We give thanks for this precious day. We give thanks for this precious day, for this beloved community, and for this abundance that we create together through our generosity of spirit and time and energy. Thank you for all that you do to make this place beloved. Blessed be, and go in peace.